The building of the modern skyscraper begins out of sight, deep below the earth. Today's skyscrapers can have foundations more than 100 feet deep, but the nature of the ground they rest upon is a crucial factor.
One of the unique aspects of New York, and especially Manhattan, is that the rock conditions of the city, which are fantastic to put up high-rise buildings.
But if the ground conditions can suddenly change, it doesn't matter how good the rock is. This is what happened in San Francisco in April 1906. A massive earthquake destroyed more than 25,000 buildings, including many of the city's first skyscrapers. Designers struggled for 70 years to engineer against earthquakes. Then, in the 1970s, they started using a technique called base isolation. This involves separating the building from the ground beneath it. The theory is that when the ground shakes, the building shouldn't. But some earthquakes are so severe that not even this is enough. Mexico City, September 1985. Extreme earthquakes devastate the capital. At least 18,000 people die, many of them inside buildings more than 10 stories high. This was a turning point in the seismic engineering of skyscrapers.
The engineering profession learned many painful lessons on that earthquake.
Earthquakes here are like nowhere else in the world.
The earthquakes in Mexico City are normally different from earthquakes in other areas like California or Kobe in Japan, where the earthquakes come with very strong accelerations and short pulses, and just a few short pulses. In Mexico City, we have a very long duration earthquakes with long shocks.
But engineers were determined that a repeat of 1985 had to be prevented. If they wanted to build skyscrapers, a new solution was needed.
So we thought that we needed a different way to dissipate the energy from the earthquake.
In 1993, Enrique teamed up with Ahmad Rahimian to design a unique skyscraper in Mexico City, one custom built to ride out the most extreme earthquake. Its name is Torre Mayor. Torre Mayor means tallest tower. Just cleaning the windows of this imposing structure takes courage. At nearly 740 feet, this is the highest building in the whole of Latin America. It's also one of the world's first intelligent buildings.
It has intelligence is embedded via the design into the buildings, and the building knows when there is an earthquake coming, how to respond to it in the most efficient way, and how to deal with the impulses and the energies that is coming to the building.
This is Torre Mayor's true genius. It has a unique design of crisscrossing interconnected shock absorbers called dampers.
The shock absorbers is similar to the muscles of the human body. In effect, the muscles are protecting the bones, the skeleton, the same way the shock absorber is protecting this structural framing, which is a skeleton of the building.
The dampers work by reacting to the energy of the earthquake.
What you see in my hand is a smaller version of the shock absorbers that is placed in the building. It's a simple rod which enclosed by a solid steel shaft. And as you're trying to press the rod into the cylinder, you have resistance. If I go several times fast back and forth, if you touch the cylinders, you would notice that it's getting warmer and warmer.
No detail of earthquake proofing has been overlooked. In this machine room, every piece of equipment has springs, buffers and seismic joints to ensure it remains operational after an earthquake. Torre Mayor's first big test came in January 2003. An earthquake measuring 7.5 on the Richter scale caused widespread panic in the city. Inside Torre Mayor, it was barely noticed. So skyscrapers that can adapt to dynamic ground conditions are the best measure against earthquakes. But what of the future of skyscrapers? Despite the shock of 9/11, buildings much taller than the Twin Towers are nearing completion.
Most of those projects which were being talked about before September 11th have now come back and are progressing because people are back up to speed on the idea. It's the practicalities, the economics of urban living dictate tall buildings, and therefore, we will continue to build tall buildings, and what we have to do is make sure we build them right and build them safe.
Skyscrapers are spreading across the globe. Soon the title of the world's tallest building will be taken by this massive structure in Taiwan. It's called Taipei 101, an astonishing 1,670 feet tall, nearly 200 feet higher than the Petronas Towers.
The skyscraper began in the US, but now the skyscraper is a global phenomenon.
But the big change is still to come.
We are going to make these buildings progressively more and more intelligent, so that you don't just have a fixed solution that sits there, but the building changes and adapts to what's going on around it.
The next level of technology is going to be 100 plus stories using active control systems. We're familiar with that technology in our cars for anti-lock brakes and traction control and things like that, but it's not familiar technology in buildings, but it will be soon.
The ultimate skyscraper is becoming a reality.
Up next, from the battlefields of World War I to modern warfare, the most ambitious and innovative killing machines face the ultimate test. Top 10 on Power Zone next.